finally the day I was looking forward to, the bricks turn up. I think we had about 7 or 8 pallet loads dropped off. That's enough to do the underbuild completely, so the storeroom and all the brickwork in the 2 bedrooms next door to the storeroom. So the first job obviously getting them to site, next job was to get them from where they are there into the underbuild. It was a bit of a mission because you had kind of like a plank, 1 plank wide to wheel them over in the wheelbarrow, and then you had to limbo underneath the wall and then duck your head, cross another plank and then straight into the storeroom. A good lady watched me for about 10 minutes and decided she couldn't watch me any longer and jumped in and gave us a hand, which was much appreciated. So yeah, this is us getting them into the underbuild. It's a bit of a mission, but we got there. This is the Monday. We got Henry, who labours, and we got Manola, who is actually bricky plasterer, turned up to give us a hand. They seem to prefer to knock it up in the bath rather than a mixer. We had a mixer on site, I did offer, but it's the way the guys do it. And here we go, starting laying blocks, so we're starting to progress upwards. As you can see, the black polythene, we pulled it up and we tacked it temporarily to the outside wall, well, the inside of the outside wall. What will happen once we get up to the top course of bricks, we pull it over and actually bed it onto the wall. As you can see here, the top cutter bricks we cut and the actual damp proof membrane is actually bedded underneath the top course of bricks. So effectively it completely goes underneath the concrete, up the sides, right to that level. So how you get water in there, I don't know, but hey, we will see.
It's just got this one each end to do, and then it's got a brush. This is Manolo.
I can't stop waiting for a moment.
Shall I lift?
Something.
I'm not sure.
Watches on the wall there. As you can see, there's a brick there with the holes in it. That's an air brick. That actually goes right the way out to the outside. So it actually has 2 purposes. It ventilates the cavity and also it will ventilate the room. Once it's plastered, we will then put a vent over the top of it so you'll be able to adjust it. And there's 2 on the main wall and 1 each on the 2 end walls. So you've got the option of venting a room or not venting a room. Now that we've completed the brickwork in the storeroom, we're on to the bedrooms. So we're cracking on with that. As you can see, the big hole in front of me, that's only an access hole. That will eventually be bricked up. That's not a window. That hole there and the actual hole at the other end is just to allow ventilation, and it's also there to give a bit of light in there and access. So these two openings will be completely bricked up. When it comes to ventilation and light, we kind of still undecided what to do. We don't think we're going to put windows in there. If we put windows in there, it will be very high. They'll be up just underneath the actual ceiling. They'll be about a foot deep and probably 3 foot wide. So they would be no good for a means of escape. They would only be any good for ventilation. Again, they will actually be below the level of the ground on the outside. So we'd have to actually construct some sort of well for them to go in on the outside. So you would have like a light well, if you imagine. On the top of that, you would have to have some sort of grate so people wouldn't fall down the hole. And again, I don't think you're going to get much light or much ventilation. So I think the way that we're going to go is we're going to put 6 or 9 inch pipes through the cavity to the outside, and use that for ventilation. This way there we can put maybe 3 or 4 per room, so we can vent it from various sides. So I think that's the way we're going to go forward. Blockwork, we're only going to take it up about 3/4. The reason behind this is we want to tackle the electrics next before we complete the blockwork. So we built the blockwork up about 3/4 high, and then we allow it to dry, and then we can actually start working on the electrics. With the electrics, we're going to run the cables that are running currently above my head. We're going to run them into the ceiling, so into the terracotta pots of the ceiling. So that can run from one side to the other, and also we're going to run the cable, the new electrics, along the top of the cavity, in the cavity, to the point where they exit the new walls. So again, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. There's not a hell of a lot to do electrical wise in the basement for the new stuff, but it's going to mean a fair amount of adaptation to the old stuff, so we can obviously conceal it, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. So there we are, that's as far as we took it. Now we're all ready for electrics in this room, and we can concentrate next time on the plastering, painting and tiling in the storeroom. As soon as we completed that, we are then ready to move our stuff over from the UK. So the next episode will be a bit of plastering and some tiling.